This is episode 115 of the Gold Squadron podcast. I'm your host, Dion Morales, and I'm joined by William. Yeah, I'm weathering the storm, Hagewood. So today we're going to be talking about and beginning our faction breakdown series. Now that we got our new points here, I want to break down each faction one episode at a time and culminate that in some sort of rankings or something like that. I might be alluding to a YouTube video that's dropping in the next day or two. You have to, check out YouTube. You gotta, I can't just give you everything all at once. Gotta spread it around. Before we go too far, though, I want to give a shout out to all of our patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing, and we have started to already ship. Not even started. I have already shipped all of the commander and squad leader swag. All of that is in the hands of the United States Postal Service and will hopefully make it to your door. I absolutely loved the face on the USPS lady when I had this giant box. She looked at me. She goes, "All those good?" I'm like, "Uh-huh. Yeah, these are fine." She goes, "Can I see one?" And they have this little template that they have to check if it fits through the slot, if it's the right size. And of course, I've done this many times, and of course it fit. And she goes, "Mm-hmm." And then I proceeded to, they're like, "Oh, just put it in the mailbox inside the post office." And what ended up happening was it was so many that the box inside that the chute goes into ended up filling up, and all the stuff fell on the floor. So they're like, "Oh, stop." I was like, "You told me not to hand you the..." Anyway, I took a peek around. They had a little mail door. I took a peek. Looks like everything got picked up. So if yours is missing, it might be on the floor of my local post office. And I'll reship it to you. The veterans and the aces, all your stuff is going to be shipping out in the next 3 or 4 days. I should have all that wrapped up. And same thing, if you won a stream prize over our last few events, all of that stuff has already been packed. I just need to stamp it and deliver it. Again, I'm just getting all caught up. I got to get all this stuff caught up before August hits, because we have a lot more stuff to be given away in August. So let's go ahead and we're going to start our faction breakdown. Today, we're starting with the Separatists, the Confederacy of Independent Systems, the Roger faction, as some like to say it. So our hopes today is we're going to be going through each ship individually, talking about some of its strengths, some of its weaknesses, and what are some possible and known archetypes that exist, and what might exist in the new Wave 4 release with this faction. All right, Will, we're actually going to go ahead and flip over to our squad builder. I think that's probably the easiest way to get a look at the ships one at a time. And which ship do you want to tackle first, Will? Fithan, Atara, Autopilot. We got Captain Seer, Skokan Ace, Wat Tambor, General Grievous. What am I looking at here, Will?
Let's separate into named and generic. So we'll set the generics aside for just a bit. I think that Captain Seer references friendly ships, and Wat Tambor also looks for friendly ships. So right away, those stick out as swarming, leading a swarm, if you will. Whereas Grievous is a little bit more an ace. I'm not sure where the generics fit.
I mean,
we
really haven't even seen those on the table, right?
I flew one Soki and ace. Didn't like it. Didn't like it. Put them back. But no. Well, it's because I think the Boblab, while it has a lot of good things going for it, it's got linked actions, barrel roll linked focus or calculate, and boost linked calculate or focus, depending on if you're the autopilot or not. Autopilot's a drone, so it's got linked calculates. But it's got good linked actions. It has good attack power, 3 attack power. The problem is that it's lacking on blue maneuvers. The style's mediocre at best. You showing the dial. There it is. Dial's mediocre at best. It's got a lot of good maneuvers, but its blues aren't great. And it only has 5 health on 2 agility, which also is kind of subpar. So really leaning on the linked actions and basically the pilot ability. And a third thing would be the tactical relay. This is the first ship that ever came out, or excuse me, the first small base ship that came out with the tactical relay, where you can support your droids as well. I think that's probably the reason you bring the Bobalab, is just for its tactical relay.
It's the cheapest way to bring it, right? You have some type of ability that works with the calculate shenanigans that this faction likes to do.
Exactly. Yep. It's cheaper by a large amount, actually.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best. Honestly, unless you're Grievous, who is probably an ace, initiative 4, but could go out there, start putting some damage in, avoiding shots, things like that. Other than that, you are a tactical relay carrier for a swarm.
Yeah,
That's not
looking
bad.
looking at the pilots, I know like General Grievous has a very like if his ability was on an initiative 6, it would be ridiculous, right? It would be,
Yeah.
and there's quite a few
It'd be
abilities.
going up in points, not going down.
Absolutely right. Like, the thing that really keeps Grievous back is the fact that he's initiative 4. But when we have seen him be successful in a couple of games, which we actually have, I think, 3 or 4 games in our archives, in our Jedi archives of games, where Grievous, about half of them, Grievous got to do some work because he basically was ignored. He's like, oh, he's initiative 4, and he was able to get around and have his rerolls and do what he's got to do. And the other times he just, deleted. Basically
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Yep. So, as far as builds for Grievous, because he's not really looking for that tactical relay, pretty much the new, cheaper, soulless one. It's the title adds 2 hull, and while you defend, the attacker's outside your firing arc, so they've flanked you basically. You get to roll a defensive die. Very, very good title, and definitely an auto include on Grievous. If you're trying to up his attack power, his ability that reads while you perform a primary attack, if you're not in the defender's arc, you can reroll up to 2 attack dice. Combos really well with outmaneuver, which basically has the same trigger. When you do an attack when you're not in the defender's arc, they roll 1 fewer defense dice as well. That's triple modding, Dion, which is pretty good. Seems good.
Mm-hmm. When you can get it off, right?
Well, that's the bait and gambit with General Grievous, is you either ignore him or you overcommit to him.
So the card I want to talk about that we see a lot of times on Grievous as well is Impervium Plating, which I've seen be absolute money, right? So it's 2 charges, and before you would be dealt a face-up ship damage card, so that's a crit that says ship on it, you may spend 1 charge to discard it instead. Just gone. Seems pretty good when it works, right?
Yeah, I mean, if both of those, so if the soulless one ends up giving you, so you have 5 hull, so you basically can have 5 chances for this to trigger. Now, what's nice about it is if that ship card is a direct hit.
Oh yeah, baby.
That's the first direct hit would be 7 health, and the second direct hit would give you a 9 health Grievous. Or excuse me, that would just be 9 hull. He's still got 2 shields. It would be an 11 health Grievous out there.
Yeah. So
if it works.
now here's the question. Grievous, his points did go down significantly. Do we think it's enough to actually see him on the field?
I mean, his points went down. Impervium, I'm double checking here. His points went down. He went down by 3. Okay. The Impervium Plating went down 2. And the soulless one title went down 4.
4.
So that's I lost track of what all those numbers I said. 4, 2, and 3. So
9.
whatever that is, 9.
Yeah.
That's a lot, actually.
That's
It's almost
9 points cheaper.
Because that's just those 3 is 54 points. And I think that's about where he should sit. That's pretty good for 7 health, basically immune to crit ship.
Alrighty, and we've seen you run Wat Tambor. Do you think when it comes to running it with a swarm of vultures we'll cover here in a second, is that your best choice? You think? I know there's an argument here between Seer and Wat, right?
Well, yeah, it's hard to say. So Wat says while you perform a primary attack, you may reroll 1 attack dice for each calculating friendly ship at range 1 of the defender. Now, then Seer basically turns friendly calculates into crack shots. They take away evade dice in the neutralize result step.
Right. When they have the defender in the bullseye.
Well, yeah.
Right. Just in case somebody doesn't remember that from crack shot.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. New crack shot is at bullseye only. So to me, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I like Wat. It's 2 reasons, really. That's why I chose him originally. I'm always... wait, no, I guess that's 3 reasons. Anyways. 1, I'm always starved for calculates, and I don't trust bullseyes. That's first reason why I don't like Seer. I like Wat because double modifying 4 attack dice at range 1 is pretty good. That should hit. At least give you 3 or 4 hit results. And the third one is that he could actually take a talent that I was using for Treacherous. Treacherous is their faction identity. While you defend, you can choose a ship obstructing the attack and to spend a charge. If you do, you cancel 1 hit or crit result, and the ship you choose gains 1 strain token. That would be the ship that was obstructing. And then after a ship is destroyed, you get the charge back. I was using Treacherous as basically actionless evade tokens. I'd have a... Where's my hand here? I would have a line of vultures, and Wat would be right behind them the whole time.
Yeah, because I was trying to trigger Treacherous, because then I was trying to double modify my offense, or I could try to double mod my defense. Using Treacherous is basically an actionless evade token.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I think pretty decent covering of the Boba Lab. Let's continue down here and go to probably what is the feature, the most popular, arguably, of the Separatist nation, and that is the Vulture class droid fighter. Starting here, just go down the stats here. You got 2 attack, 2 agility, 3 hull, no shields. Calculate target lock and barrel roll. Linked into calculate. With that networked calculations, if you're not familiar with that, basically friendly ships can share calculates with each other as long as they have that network calculations. I mean, is this pretty much the flagship for the faction?
Oh yeah, no, it's their TIE fighter, it's their X-wing by far.
So now I want to talk about the pilots that we have. A couple of them went down in cost, but really the ones that we see out there. It's a Trade Federation drone. We don't see the Child prototype. We don't see the Separatist drone or any of the uniques or the Precise Hunter. Why do you think that is?
The only one that I've seen is DFS 311, who basically can, at the start of combat, give his calculate to a ship in range 3. Basically a tiny little maneuver out there. And that's actually pretty nice if you have some calculate synergies you're trying to work on, or if you have a lot of other vultures trying to shoot energy shells that require a calculate. You can make sure that the person with the shell shot has to calculate to shoot the missile. Other than that, I don't think you get a lot out of the other ones. The precise hunters are good. They basically have initiative 3 and predator. The prototypes can get free locks or calculates, but both of those are bullseye only abilities, and that's they look good on paper, but they don't. What do I want to say? They don't have enough frequency to warrant the extra points. And most of the time, you're trying to just cram as many of them as you can into a single list. So you just want the cheapest model that you can bring.
Well, I mean, that's probably just because they're so fragile, right? Like, they pop. They're just gone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Please do not. Please do not put, like, hull upgrades or anything like that on these Vultures, because it's not going to help them. They're just going to die. Trust me, I've played a lot of them where just like, double blanks. All right, he's dead. All right, next guy. All right, he rolls double blanks as well. Goodbye to him. Like,
just move it down the line. I only need 5 anyway.
Yeah, I brought the extras just because I didn't need them in the opening joust, actually. So
they're your pass to the next turn is what it is, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I mean when you're running a swarm like that, like I said, I was running Watt and 6, and you can actually fit 7 drones. Now that they're 19 points, you can actually fit 7 of them in with the Boba Lab pretty easily. I think I was fitting. What's the math on 19 times 7?
Bad at math. Computer, do it for me. 19 times 7 is 133.
Yeah, that's way more than that 54-point Grievous we were talking about.
Yep.
Which would be like hard to say. Like, what are you gonna ignore 7 ships coming at you, or are you gonna go try to find Grievous?
You can't. Yeah, you gotta go at them. Now here's the question, right? We just had the points update. Some things have shaken up, and the grappling struts for these guys have gone from 3 points to 1 point. At 3 points, we saw 0 play, practically, competitively. Yes, I know the like one person who's in their car right now yelling, saying, I ran grappling strut. I get it. Yeah, okay. I love you, man. I'm talking about competitively and most of the time. Practically, we didn't see it on the table. Now, with the Trade Federation drone actually going down 1 point and then the struts going down to 1 point, it brings it back to a total of 20 for basically your base Trade Federation drone. Are people going to be putting it on there because basically it's free, or what do you think?
Yeah, for some reason they priced them at 3 points. What I can only assume is so you couldn't spam them. So they're like a special version that like would do that. And now at 1 point you can spam them. So I think that basically 1 point tax is worth it now to basically have collision detector.
Yeah.
Because the landing strut, if you overlap or land on a rock, actually no, you have to land on it. Is that right?
Yes, you do have to land on it.
No, it totally works, dude. It's basically a collision detector. Yeah, it's amazing. So no, you put struts on your vultures. This is this weekly's PSA about that. Put them on them. They're letting you for this season before they go up.
Yep. And bring rocks. Bring rocks. Bring the big ones. So when we were first testing the wave, I guess the last wave, the day it came out, I put grappling hooks on everybody just to try it out, and it was hilarious to be able to sit on a rock and just pivot. Of course, you could only pivot 90 degrees, which is one of the weaknesses of it, though the way to solve that is you take multiple of them and you take them, like you have 2, and you go in at 2 different angles, and then you can cover almost anything. It was fun. I can't say that it was good, but it was fun.
Yeah, I don't think sitting on well, unless you're a U-wing, I don't think just hanging out is the best way to avoid getting shot.
All right, so
It could be good.
that's we'll find out. There's that one person sitting at home going like, "You have no idea what I'm about to do." All right, so that is the Vulture class droid. Now here we go. Let's go ahead and hit the Sith Infiltrator. Sith Infiltrator. They got hit pretty hard. At least Maul and Dooku did by the points update. They both went up in points, if I'm not mistaken, right? But
Yeah, they both
up by two.
went up 2, but as their main force ability, hate went up by 6. It kind of went up by 8.
Wrecked.
That's a lot, actually.
Yeah,
but
it's a significant
they're
amount.
like 100-point large bases, so I think you could find 12 points in that list.
Yep. So if you have just Maul and Dooku with just hate on it, yeah, they're both sitting there. Yeah, that's 76 points for Maul total and 72. Pretty much went up. Wow, that's quite a bit actually. I mean, thinking about how much people were kidding him out before with like all the Proton torpedoes, which went up in price again. Do we think that we're gonna see double infiltrators anymore?
Well, they're not going to be taking Proton torpedoes, I'll tell you that much. They'll probably be taking plasma. If anything, I don't think it's terrible, but like, yeah, you just have less upgrades now. I mean, dude, you've played against hate, Maul. I played against a 5-force Maul with hate one time. He had a Dooku and Palpatine on board.
Oh,
it was outrageous. The dude just had basically old school expertise at that point. It's just so much fun.
look at all this force I have.
No, yeah, they. No, I think 9 points. If they could probably go down a little bit, but that seems a little extreme to me. But but from playing against them, it's probably appropriate.
So, I mean, what did those guys have on? They had hate, plasma torpedoes. One of them was carrying Chancellor Palpatine. That's Maul, right?
Yeah, Maul has Palpatine. He likes that 4th force. Also, I'm assuming that you should shoot at Maul right away.
Yeah.
So, like, he should be your target priority number 1. So it's just kind of slowing people down with that Chancellor Palpatine ability.
All right. Yeah, man, those plasma torpedoes definitely actually open up quite a bit. Huh.
Yeah, you got Scimitar on Dooku, right?
Yeah. Because if you go up to Proton torpedoes and we just basically do the basics, you only got 8 points left. You go down to plasma, you're sitting at bad at computing. You're sitting at double the points, 16 points. So a lot of upgradability there.
Yeah, I mean, you got plenty of slots. It's fine.
All right, so maybe the double infiltrators will stick around. We'll see. And of course, that question is whether people might still try to play it. And yes, I will agree that plasma torpedoes, have that possibility to do that extra damage of the shield damage. But you can't deny that actually rolling that 4th dice is better than burning a shield, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's like that 4th dice really just push. When I saw that list, like I feel that 3-die torpedo double infiltrators are just not as scary. They don't bite as hard.
No,
we'll see.
I would honestly put on ion torpedoes instead.
Oh,
I don't know what you do with the extra points, but I don't. That's the only thing I have. I'm in the same boat as I think a lot of people of like, ooh, I don't want to pay for 3 dice when I'm already shooting 3 dice.
Yep.
The infiltrators are still good. I mean, we haven't seen too many successful just like infiltrator and swarms. But they actually have a lot of good slots. You got bombs, you got tactical relay, a bunch of crew, cannons. Everybody's just basically leaning on the force users of them because it's just so powerful.
So I want to talk about the two lower scimitars, though. So we have O-66, which is a droid pilot, and the Dark Courier. We haven't seen them in play. They went down in points. O-66 went down by 3. Dark Courier down by 2. Is it enough for them to actually see play? Maybe we get some swarm action with O-66 because it does have the calculate there. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think O-66 is a good Kraken carrier. He really likes Kraken to have basically 2 calculates. Because his ability is when you defend, you may perform or spend 1 calculate token to perform an action.
He's Tabson.
So that action could be...
He's Separatist Tabson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If Tavison had like an actual penalty for his ability.
True.
But yes, I mean, you could put the scimitar title on him and try to do some cloaking after you cloaking or jam after you get attacked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's that good. He's just the best Kraken carrier. Now we do have what is interesting is the new tactical relay. It's TA-175. Me and Marcel were talking about it a bunch last time. And it says, after a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 with calculate on its action bar is destroyed, each friendly ship at range 0 to 3 with calculate in its action bar gains 1 calculate token. The TA-175 doesn't give you the calculate action, but O-66 does have calculate on its action bar. So if you do kill O-66, say, first, all of the other ships in the squad would get those calculates then.
Making it rain.
So, yeah, like that's my only problem with TA-175 is putting him on ships that if you just kill the relay carrier, nothing happens. So I like him on O-66. Plus, same thing, like, he doesn't mind an extra calculator too. Interesting. I think that's the main reason to bring him. And this whole time I've been thinking about it, I don't have a good reason to bring it Dark Carrier. Other than, say, carrying Palpatine. Just have him out there as like a rebel captive carrier.
Shoot me. Shoot me so you get stressed.
Just throw them forward right at the enemy and hope they shoot at you, I guess. I'm not sure what else to do with the Dark Carrier. You got an idea? I mean, it could carry bombs.
Yeah. It's seismic charges, maybe? Throw them in the middle?
Yes. I'm not excited about that.
It didn't get you.
No, there's literally the next ship we're going to talk about is called a Droid Bomber. So they're going to bring some Dark Carrier. Like I said, the only thing I could think of is maybe like a Dooku or Palp carrier, maybe a General Grievous carrier. Same thing. Same thing as like actually.
The wheels are turning. What?
Oh yeah, you can still fit. Oh, see, this is the problem. Dark Courier is only 1 point less than O-66.
Right.
So like, here's my question to you: is what's the value of? So it's an extra point to get an initiative, an ability, but you have to trade focus for calculate. Is that even a question?
I mean, I think you just do it, assuming that you're bringing like droids and some type of tactical relay. I think it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the Dark Carrier would be taken. I guess. Why do you even exist, Dark Courier? Why do you even exist?
I didn't want to go that far. Okay. Yeah.
They're sad now. They're sad. Go back in the binder.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that ship. So moving on.
Moving on. All right, so the last one that's been released, we have the Nantex coming up here in the future. We're not there yet. We just got the Hyena class bomber. So the Hyena class has 2 attack, 2 agility, 5 hull, no shields. Pretty similar dial to the Vulture, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it trades 3 bank reds for 1 bank reds.
All right. So they don't quite like to be together unless they're moving at that two speeds. Yeah. So I mean, so here's one of the things that I'm starting to look at list building for these Hyena classes. What do they do anything exceptionally well that's going to take the Separatists to the next level, or is it just adding a tool to the toolbox?
What? No, there's that's a ridiculous question. These hyenas are going to be awesome.
Okay, why? Convince me.
All right, let's pull up the bar. I can't say it. Say it for me.
The bombardment drone?
Bombardment droid. Yeah, I don't know. I'm losing it.
You're good.
But yeah.
So you can take 3 of those in a list. They're triple dotted.
Yeah, we don't need 3. We just need 1. Well, I guess I don't know. I guess you could bring 3. It's a little crazy. So the only 2 hyenas here that get, actually, I guess there's 3. There's 3 hyenas that get the sensor slot. The prototypes, the bombardments, and the coordinating guy. The bombardment, though, of those 3 is the only one that can take bombs. So we're putting trajectory simulator on this thing.
No.
Yes. You know it. You know it to be true. Search your feelings. You know it was a trajectory simulator the whole time. Anyways, so there's 2 different bombs. I'm looking at. First one, seismic, because it's so cheap,
right.
and it has a very powerful radius of attack. The other one's the new Proton bomb, which I haven't played with, but it sounds crazy.
Sounds like fun.
So here's the kicker, though. You were just talking about a couple minutes ago when we were talking about vultures, and you're like, oh, it was so fun just like hanging out on rocks. Put landing struts on your little bombardment drone there. And you see where I'm going now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hucking bombs downfield. Now I want to read you a little something about the landing struts.
Yep.
It says, so when you sit there, if you don't reveal the 2 forward, it says you skip your execute maneuver step and remove 1 stress token. To me, that sounds like a blue maneuver. Do you know what a red action the bombardment drone has?
No. Tell me more.
It's the reload action.
Oh, crap. Oh,
Yeah.
no. FFG,
Oh,
what have you done?
That's right. Because if you have proton bombs on that particular bombardment drone, you launch a proton bomb, you reveal something that's not a 2 forward, sit, reload that proton bomb, and next round, when you sit again, it clears your stress. So you can continue to basically infinitely launch proton bombs.
Come at me.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
That's scary, dude. I don't want to engage that thing. The other thing is the new Electron proton bomb.
Yep.
Has a range 2 radius, and a bunch of crazy things can happen. Ions, weapons disabled, a whole bunch of crazy things. But imagine you have, I don't know, we'll say 3 bombardment drones. I don't know if you can even fill them out to a 200-point list, but say you only have 3.
I'm gonna try.
I think you had to bring a 4th ship.
Yeah, I got to 151.
All right. Well,
Fine,
Okay.
I'll bring another ship. You bring the calculator, like the coordinate guy, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, give a little coordinating out there because they're gonna need locks and stuff.
What's that guy's
But
name?
now imagine, Dio, you've brought 4 ships and you're sitting on 2 rocks
Yep.
because they all have landing struts, and you just are launching bombs downfield. When you launch that Electron Proton bomb, it is 5 away from you, right?
Yep. But
Oh wait, there's nubs though.
the
isn't
nubs,
there?
yeah, it's gonna be just inside of range 2 to you.
All right, so whoever launches that needs to barrel roll backwards when they do that.
Yep.
But in
Absolutely.
theory, if you could land that barrel roll backwards and still be on that rock, that Electron Proton bomb won't hit you. Yeah, welcome to the badness that goes on inside my world. Yeah. But so 3 of them is nuts, Dion. That's not necessary at all. But
All right, so build me out 2 Hyena class bombers that I'm gonna bring to League tomorrow.
oh, you need 2 of them?
Because I only have
All right.
2. We only have 2 right now in our play set.
Okay. Well, if you're bringing 2, all right. Everyone will not bring trajectory because everyone will hate you for having such an amazing idea.
But I have to do it. The people need the content. They need to know. They need to see it.
They need to see if this works.
Yes.
All right, that's fair. All right. Well, one has Electron Proton Bomb, and the other one has a regular Proton Bomb, and delayed fuses. That's 88 points, dude. How many grappling strut? Oh no, you know what you need? Oh no, you can't bring Discord missiles. Don't do that. You'll blow yourself up.
Do I just bring like a little mini Vulture mini swarm maybe?
Yeah, I'm trying to fit 4 in there and see how the points work out. 12 points over. That sounds about right. All right, so drop the Electron Proton Bomb down.
Just go Proton. I can go
One's got
I can go
one's
Proton
got-
seismic.
Yeah, and then put the fuses on the seismic one.
Yeah, done. 199.
Oh wait, what? You're missing a point then. You got 5248. Oh, I can't see your screen very well.
5251.
Oh, drop the other seismic. Oh, because you're not bringing grappling struts, dude. You'll bomb yourself if you're not bringing the struts.
No, the struts are right there. Landing struts. 1 point.
Well, I can't see. Oh, you're not bringing energy shell charges? You're crazy.
What do you mean? The Trade Federation drones have their energy charges.
But your vultures don't have struts though. Like I said, you'll blow yourself up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
You'll very quickly blow up your own vulture.
Sorry. I was like, what do you mean? They're right. The struts are right there. All right, 200 points. Right there.
There it is. Perfect. That's Dion.
Yeah.
That sounds scary to engage. I don't want to engage that.
Come
I'll be
at me.
honest with you.
Castle
yeah.
Dion.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, here's a question.
Yeah.
So you can keep yourself in the same direction with the landing struts by dialing in. Let me look at the dial here.
It's anything that's not a 2 forward.
So I would dial in a
maneuver.
3 forward, and it would just stay there, right, and not be stressed.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
vultures,
the
in order to
only-
stay stressed, they have to do something weird, don't they?
No, it's the exact same wording.
thing. So here's the question.
Yeah.
If I, how do I say this? If I'm keeping them all on the rocks and I don't move at all, am I fortressing?
Well, you're technically skipping your execute maneuver phase, so you're not.
I had no chance, FFG.
Yeah, you're not specifically. You're not overlapping your ships to create a fortress. They just gave you upgrade cards to allow you to do it. Now, are you engaging the other player? Probably not. But
so I mean, I guess I could pivot. I could pivot one Vulture. Just have it doing a little pivot action, a little dance. To the right and back.
I mean, you're making no effort to engage, but that's fine.
But I'm following the rules.
I mean, that's up to a TO's discretion. If I was a mean TO, I would tell you that you're not engaging.
True. I mean,
but also, I would look at your opponent and be like, you can't figure out how to get around these things. They can only turn 90 degrees at a time.
Engage me. I think that's going to be fun, absolutely fun, and hilarious to try out tomorrow. All right.
Yeah. See, well, I'll give you a little hint. I can already see it happening.
Say that again. You cut out. Did we lose Will for a second time?
You recognize that you can only sit on 3 rocks, right? You want to sit on 3 rocks,
Hey,
right?
Will, do me a favor. Could you actually repeat what you said? Because my internet cut out there for a second, so I lost you.
Okay. So what's going to be funny is when your opponent realizes that you need 3 rocks on your side of the board, so that you could sit on them with all your struts.
Right.
So they'll start putting rocks on their side of their board, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just fly that seismic charges one right at them and start blowing up all those rocks they're hiding behind.
Yep.
Sounds hilariously interesting. Because you can... Wait, here's some math for you, Dion. Can you drop a seismic bomb on the rock you're on, do a 2 forward, and barrel roll and not be on range 1 of that rock?
2 forward.
You'd have to be like just barely on it then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't do that. Don't bump the rock you're sitting on.
Well, no, you'd be fine. It's range 1. Oh, no, but it's range 1 of the rock. It depends the rock. And depends on how you landed on it. Because it goes 1 behind you. Range 1 is 2.5.
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. It's close. It just depends on what rock it is and how you landed on it. You got to eyeball that one.
I'll be cautious about that.
All right, cool. And I think just kind of talking about the chassis in and of itself, I really think it's cool. I think I've said this already, that the bombers have different upgrade slots depending on their supposed role and their, the thematic roles of the different ones. I think that's really neat.
Yeah, we kept calling it the coordinating one. That's DBS 32C. Actually figured out why he has red jam. None of the other ships have red jam.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because he doesn't need a red reload action. He actually has no munitions slots.
Munitions, don't need them.
So they kind of threw him a bone on that one. You can take this red action. Now, I think DBS 32C is good, especially as a Kraken Carrier, to guarantee that he always has a calculate at the start of engagement. The one I'm real excited about is DBS 404.
This guy looks hilarious.
Get those ridiculous trajectory ones out of there.
Just get out of our life.
It's literally why trajectory is still 10 points, is those bombardment drones. Anyway, this is the real ship, by the way. Those are funny shenanigans. This is a real ship, DBS 404. You can perform primary attacks range 0 while you perform an attack range 0 to 1. You must roll 1 additional die. After the attack hits, suffer 1 critical damage, and still has no calculations. Dylan, this guy's insane. Okay, that's a 4 dice range 0 attack with his primary, and he's 30 points.
Seems good.
That's so cheap. He actually fits in an 8-ship swarm.
Wow.
Yeah, but actually you have 18 points left over in an 8-ship piece with him. Actually, wait, no, I put too many ships in there. You get a lot. Yeah. The guy's dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. The thing I wanted to just point out about him is called Advanced Proton Torpedoes.
Ooh.
They're range 1 5 dice torpedo. And with 4 or 4, that's a 6 die attack, because he must roll an additional die at attack range 1.
Right. And it has no type of, his ability doesn't have any type of restriction to primary attack. It's just attack.
Yep. Just while you perform an attack. You could also put like normal things on him, like energy shells and landing struts to make him 42. You can, but I kind of like him with just 36 out there. Or even just 30, or excuse me, 31, because you should bring struts. Struts is so good. I kind of like him just at 31 points, because he's kind of like what we were talking about, like Grievous, to where you're making your opponent have a decision.
Right.
Do we shoot at this dude who is trying to like get into range 1 of us? Or do we start shooting at everybody else in the list who's actually doing real damage? Do we shoot at 404 this round, even though he doesn't have a range 1? Or do we shoot at
he's
somebody
coming?
Yeah. Are you preemptively killing this guy? Because, like, sure, if he's got a range 1 6 dice attack on you, you probably need to focus everything you have on him.
Right.
But if he doesn't, where does he fall in that aggro? That's extremely cheap. I would not have priced this guy at 30 points. This guy is going up in price. So fly him while you can. Quick.
He priced to sell, baby. Priced to sell. So here's my question.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, he is a ticking time bomb. He is gonna kill himself eventually. But he's got a hit, so they could just dodge your attacks. You'll be fine.
All right, so we went through all of the ships here that are currently available up to Wave 4 for the Separatist Alliance. Do we think that the Hyena-class bomber is improving the status of the Separatists, keeping it the same with some of the losses they have? What do you think?
I think it's just giving. It's giving two things. Well, wait, are we talking competitive or just overall?
Competitive?
Competitive. It's giving you the. Oh, geez, I forgot his number already. 32C. 32C is basically an alternative to a Bobalab in that kind of Watt Swarm or Seer Swarm archetype. They could just run him instead of one of the Bobalabs, if you'd prefer. Because the coordinating is really nice. So you basically have a new option for a tactical relay. And if you're running tactical relay heavy list, there's an option there. I don't think that a full Hyena bomber swarm is going to be effective.
Mm-hmm.
That's like not something that it's just not priced right. You're better off just taking the Vultures if you're trying to swarm them, because you only get 6 energy shells in the Hyenas, which could be okay. I mean, I haven't tested that out, but I don't think that's as good as the 7.
Cool.
So I'm not sure. I mean, they're bringing a lot of bombs, which is a new play style that the Separatists haven't really been able to utilize, because the bomb slot's only on large base infiltrator.
Truth. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, that's been our overview of the Separatist Alliance here after the Summer Points update. And yeah, let us know what you guys think. Do you think the Separatists are better off or worse off after the release of Wave 4 and the July Points update? Next thing we're going to talk about here is something that people have been asking me questions about, and I mentioned it during the last episode of This Week in X-Wing, and that is what happened to the Gold Squadron Classic. So I'm going to address it now. Hopefully, those of you who were excited about it, hopefully you're not super sad, but we have some things. Anyway, let's start by talking about, yes, the Gold Squadron Classic is postponed. Not happening when it was supposed to happen because of the announcement of the St. Louis Grand Championship. But because we had a venue booked, plans, all kinds of things were in motion, we're still having an X-Wing event. So if you're local to Chicago or you can't make it to St. Louis, or I guess you'd rather hang out with us, no pressure. Like, I do not shame you for going to the Grand Championship, because, like, I know most of our guys are going to be there. But if you're going to be local and you want to hang out, we're going to be holding the Gold Squadron prelims during that time. So it's basically going to be a 64 up to 64 player Swiss event. If we get enough people, we will have a cut to top whatever the advanced structure says the next day on Sunday. But basically, the top prize, if you're first place, you end up getting a buy to the Gold Squadron Classic, which we're working on trying to plan that. But the reason why we're still holding an event is because this is taking place at something called the Home Base Games Expo. So Home Base Games is actually a company that I'm a part of. I'm one of the founders of the company, and we're working on doing gaming events for all type of games. And of course, I'm the X-Wing expert. And so we're gonna have an X-Wing event there. And if you want to come out, it's happening on November 9th. Registration starts at 9. Start time's at 11. And again, that cap is at 64. We're going to have some cool prizes and things there. And also, if you don't make the cut into Sunday, we will have a side event there. You can actually go ahead and sign up already. Registration is open. You can go to homebasegames.com and register there. The main event is $30 and the side event is $10. And you will be able to register on site for the side event if you can't make it on Sunday and you just want to hang out. But either way, that's going to be here in the Chicagoland area. All the details are at homebasegames.com. And if you can make it, that's awesome. Come hang out. I will be there, and I'm planning on figuring out. I'm going to send somebody. I don't know, Will, are you planning on going to St. Louis to play?
I don't know, actually. It depends on if they're which event is serving alcohol and has more of my friends.
So I guess I did forget to mention that. So probably the biggest draw for us is that while you're at the table, we have because this is a Boy Scouts fundraising event. The Boy Scouts actually walk around and take your order for food and drinks. The adults bring the drinks. Let me mention that for that one person who's like, "Hey, kids can't serve drinks." They don't. But food and drink brought to you at your table while you're playing X-Wing and having a good time. So, I guess for sure I know we have food and drink. I don't know about Warfare Weekend. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. But ours is cheaper. I don't know. If you want to come hang out, come hang out. Gold Squadron prelims. Yeah. All right, cool. Next order of business. It's the list of the week. All right, Will. We don't have a Marcel here. That means you get to be perfectly practical. Yes, your turn to shred it. All right, let me go ahead and get our faces out of the way so that everybody who is watching at home can see it. So this list comes from Jedi Oswald on our Discord server. If you're on our Discord server, you can actually submit lists to possibly be featured here at the list of the week. Also, our podcast question of the week, which is coming up after this. This comes from Jedi Oswald, and he says, "Help me, Gold Squadron podcast. You're my only hope. I have 8 extra points to spend and don't know how to spend them. I am trying FCS and a couple of other things on Luminara, but they aren't making much of a difference. This is the list, and I hope you can help. He calls it Jukin Jedi. So we have Riccoli. These are 3 Naboo starfighters, by the way, and a Delta. So first we have Riccoli with Juke, Padme with Juke, Anakin Skywalker in the Naboo starfighter with Juke, and the Delta 7 Aether Sprite with Luminara and nothing. That leaves us at 192 points. So I guess the question here, Will, is where else can he spend the points, these points that are left, or are there any other things he should be doing to maybe maximize the list?
Double check. What's Luminara's ability again? I believe it. I want to say it's the sensor jammer, but
It is. It is sensor jammer.
Okay.
So for those of you who aren't familiar with that phrasing, that's a first edition reference. It is Luminara. While a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 defends, if it is not in the attacker's bullseye firing arc, you may spend 1 force. If you do, change 1 crit to a hit result or 1 hit to a focus result.
Okay, I see the synergy here. So that's why I was double checking. I was like, of when that actually triggers. But so what you're trying to do is Luminar is trying to use her ability to force the opponent to spend their focus on offense, so that they won't have it for defense when you juke them back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 points here. Yeah, I think what's the calibrated laser targeting on Luminara?
Calibrated laser is 3.
All right, what's a force upgrade for? Is there really anything?
I mean, maybe sense.
I was actually thinking,
But I mean, she only has 2 force though, and you want to have it available for her ability, right?
yeah, actually, out of all those things that this Oswald had said about FCS and calibrated laser targeting, I think I actually have a wild card here, and it's that right there. Battle meditation should be 8 points.
Snap. Okay.
I mean, obviously a bid could work too, because you have some pretty good initiatives in there between like 4 or 5 and is Padme a 3 these days? Or these days in that ship, is she a 3? She's a 4, and Anakin's a 4.
Yes. And Riccoli's
Okay, so it's a bunch of 4s. So an 8-point bid on 4 and 5 wouldn't be bad. But as an alternative, battle meditation might actually work. So you're going to keep Luminar in the back anyways, behind Padme and Anakin.
There's a problem with that, though. Battle meditation, you cannot coordinate
Yeah, I stopped
limited
reading after... I skipped over that line that says you cannot coordinate limited ships. All right, never mind.
Hope.
That makes sense.
You had hope.
That would have been awesome, but turns out no. Oh man, that means you can't coordinate these people at all. What's some other force abilities? I think that's the slot to invest in, if anything. Because the calibrated laser targeting is weird for Luminar because she's constantly using her force just for defense. I feel like an advanced proton torpedo or collision detector is going to be better than anything putting on Luminar. I can actually like her cheap just support out there, and if they want to shoot her at her instead of the Naboo starfighters, that's okay. Probably, like I said, probably collision detector on Rick. And take the 2-point bid, just accept it. Or an advanced proton torpedo on him. Because he's the cheapest one out of those 3. Oh no, he's a point more than Anakin. I take that back. Kind of like advanced proton. No, put it on Anakin. Yeah, give Anakin advanced proton torpedoes because Rick already shoots 4 dice at range 1, doesn't he?
Yes, assuming that he did
I'm not too familiar with these Naboo starfighters.
Yeah. So Riccoli is the one. This is when you defend or perform an attack. If the speed of your revealed maneuver is higher than the enemy ships, roll 1 additional attack die.
Yeah. So no, he doesn't need it. And Padme's the actual target that people should shoot at. they should shoot at her. So yeah, I would let Anakin get a little extra punch there, or I think, like I said, collision detector on these Naboo starfighters wouldn't be too bad either. Especially Rick, who has to go fast all the time. Being able to avoid a key rock or something to make sure that he can get his evade and a shot, I think would be pretty powerful.
Now here's
I think overall though, I think the ship I kind of like the advanced proton because this list is kind of lacking attack power. You have 2 attack dice across the board. Sure, you have jukes, but I think it's lacking a little bit of attack power. And Anakin, with his single force and the free evades, he has time to take target locks.
So here's my question. Like, so this, I think you're right. I think adding the advanced proton torpedo is the best way to spend the points we had available for this exact set of ships.
Yes. Well, yeah, it was for the 8 points. Correct.
Is there anything else we could do, including maybe swapping out a pilot or a ship here, to maybe take this to the next level? So, like, I'm thinking, keep Luminara.
How cheap are the generics?
Generic Naboos?
Yeah, because really, what I see here is it's Juke Padme and Juke Padme here is the start of the whole combination. So where's the cheapest one with the elite?
You don't get Dine L Burger is at 38. Okay. That gets you 4 points. But then after that, you got to go with Riccoli. But I guess you could. I guess I'm wondering if Anakin. Oh man, they should have 4.
I don't know. I think you can fit 4 Jukes in there.
So what are you suggesting? Taking out Luminara?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I see the Sinoon Chief. I just don't think it's going to work like how you think it works.
It's not going to work the way you think.
Yeah. I don't think Dally. Yeah, I guess you're right. Dally kind of sucks though too. Or Denis.
Yeah.
If the speed of your revealed maneuver is the same as the enemy ships, that ship's dice cannot be modified. Oh, so actually that works against Juke then, right?
Correct.
Yeah. No, he's already figured it out. That's exactly the best you could do, I think. Yeah, and Hadamines can't juke, so.
Mm-hmm.
No, that makes sense actually. Yeah, now reanalyzing it here, I like this setup, but yeah, I don't know what to do. Like I said, it just lacks attack power. Needs some attack power in there.
How about passive? Man, if you could fit a passive sensor on whoever has the advanced proton torpedo, that would be sick. Oh, okay. Kind of crazy idea here. Will, I got a crazy idea. Okay. What if, so looking at Riccoli's ability, while you perform, if the speed of your revealed maneuver is higher than an enemy, just roll an additional die. So we can get a little similar to 404 action. You take passive sensors, put it on Riccoli. You take advanced proton torpedo, put it on Riccoli. You just get rid of Anakin. Bye, Anakin. You're gone. You got 47 points left to just get another ship in there. Get something else. Maybe an ARC 170. Get some meat in there.
But why is Rick paying for a close range torpedo though? Shoot, at that point, you might as well give him
put it on
give him plasma. Give him a long range one.
You said plasma? Yeah, sure. That works.
No. Yeah, see, I don't like putting torpedoes on Rick because he always shoots 3 dice. It's like putting a missile on Lulu. And Padme is going to get shot at first, so that's also a bad idea.
Fine, nobody gets a torpedo. I know it's kind of a weird mix of ships. I just don't know. Like, if we're just talking about competitive, right? Like, I think we can visually see some of the gaps and some of the issues that this is going to have. It's going to have an attack power issue. It's also very low in health. Once you lose Luminara, you don't have the staying power or the hit points to stick around. Like, I know that I've seen Luminara do really well. Isofan flew it in Seattle with Arc 170s, and just like the Luminar ability plus the amount of health that the Arc 170s have really keep the ships around for a long time, make them really tanky. I mean,
All right, so I got something here. Bring it back to the original list.
okay, boom, magic. It's like I had that ready.
Change out Luminar for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
All right, that's 196.
Give him calibrated laser targeting.
200.
Because so actually, as well, I'm trying to think about how these ships are going to fly and engage and things like that. And with their relatively low initiative, they're going to get shot at first. The problem is, if you're trying to trigger these jukes, you want to keep your evade tokens, which means you don't actually want to spend them very often on defense. But if you got Obi-Wan Kenobi out there, he can regenerate their focus tokens. And probably more specifically, let's be real here, it's going to be Padme's focus token, right?
Right.
So she basically now has an evade when she needs it, and she has up to 4 focuses? Yeah, because Obi-Wan has 3 force charges. So she can have 4 focuses as well. And outside of running like handmaidens, if you're trying to do this kind of juke squad, that Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's not bad. His version of calibrated laser targeting got a significant decrease in the last points update. So that's a buy now kind of ship. See, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I like it. I mean, you're working on you're kind of the same idea, right? You're using Obi-Wan as a defensive tool, which is what Luminara is, just in a different way.
Yes, but I think it's going to be a little bit more effective now. Yeah. I don't know. These new Starfires are pretty weird. I'm not sure if you can run them in mass like this because they only have 2 attack bar. I mean, because this reminds me of like a Quad Phantoms list.
Mm-hmm.
Does it not?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I see what they're trying to do, right? Like, because we know spamming juke is good, right?
Yeah, both chassis get free evades, but this chassis only has 2 attack power.
Yeah, it's not enough to put out the amount of damage,
actually.
right?
It's actually kind of ridiculous comparing Juke Padme to a Sigma. How much are they actually paying for that? My mind's about to be blown here about how. So Juke Sigma's 55 currently, and that Padme's 52.
Yep.
What?
So
I should not be priced like that. I'm so confused about
what
that.
Is your conclusion? Tell me.
Padme is expensive. Padme is expensive. Sorry, I dropped my phone. Padme is a lot more expensive than what I thought she was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's my assessment, anyways. Or Sigmas are still real cheap.
Maybe. I mean, that's to be seen. We'll see if 3 Phantoms are going to be enough. But this is not about the Phantoms. This is about these N1s. All right, Jedi Oswald. I hope that we gave you some ideas. Try Obi-Wan in there, and we'll see what happens. Let us know. Give us the report on the Discord. Let us know how that shakes out. I mean, It's definitely, there wasn't too much to play with there, right? Like it's kind of hard to work on that one.
No, I would start. I like the Luminara. It's just gonna be interesting. Try the advanced Proton first. Get some punch out there.
Alrighty. So, next thing we're going to chat about before we jump into our question of the week, which the question of the week sparked a 70 response thread of people going back and forth in our Discord. It was hilarious, all very cordial and nice. But I'll just trying to figure this out, and I have the answer, and I got you guys. So I'm going to answer that question. But before we do that, I want to talk about Gold Squadron Flight Club. I talked about it on the recent episode of This Week in X-Wing. That's a show we do on our YouTube channel. Gold Squadron Flight Club is happening. Okay, if you're not familiar with what it is, it's a streaming event that's going to be taking place on July 13th. And you might be wondering, well, what is it? I'm going to be traveling to a secret part of the country. I'm not going to tell you guys where it is yet. I'm going to tell you guys in a few days. We're going to have 3 to 4 feature matches, and the winner of each match will, of course, earn bragging rights, be placed in the laurels of history of Gold Squadron Flight Club, and will actually earn a donation to a charity of their choice. More details to come, but trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. I'm super excited for it. And also, the first rule of Flight Club is most definitely talk about it so that you guys can watch. Now, there are a couple of special rules when it comes to Flight Club. Sometimes we'll do different type of list building challenges and different things like that. Each feature match will have a little bit of tweaking going on, either a certain archetype assigned to a player, or maybe an archetype that a player is known for. We'll be giving them, their platform to show their good flying. Or maybe we'll say something along the lines of, you can only use generics, or you can only use this faction. Little tweaks here and there. I'm super excited. This upcoming Gold Squadron Flight Club, the inaugural, will focus on Wave 4. More details to come. Stay tuned to YouTube. That's where we're going to, we're actually going to be talking about it. So, should be good. Did I put enough suspense in that, Will? What do you think?
Yeah, you did.
All right. It sounds like your computer might be coming back up. I think I heard double voice on Will. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm trying not to have that work.
Mute your phone or computer. All right, there we go. Cool. So let's see.
Oh, you know what? It would be that easy, wouldn't it?
There he is. Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to go ahead and answer the question of the week. Let's go ahead and I'll read it to you here. So the question of the week was, how does R4 Astromech and Resistance Leia interact with the colors on your dial? The plain and let me start by reading the cards, okay? So we'll start by reading the cards. R4 Astromech reads, decrease the difficulty of your speed 1 and 2 base maneuvers, period. And they show what a basic maneuver is. They show the little arrows. Leia Organa reads, after a friendly ship reveals its dial, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, the chosen ship reduces the difficulty of that maneuver. So, the argument here was whether or not it changes the color of the dial. Like, for abilities that say something like after you reveal a blue maneuver, after you reveal a white maneuver, those type of abilities. And for these 2 cards specifically, the answer is no. It does not affect the revealed color of the dial. And we find our answer in the rules reference on page 18. Okay, let's scroll down to page 18. I will show it to you guys who are watching live. Here we go. Page 18. And it is under the... it's kind of a weird place to find it, but it's under the stress. Okay? under the stress explanation. So, the first part I want to read you here says, if a stressed ship attempts to execute a red maneuver, it instead executes a white 2 forward. This is important to understand kind of how all this goes together, because the next point under this is where we get our answer. It says, after a stressed ship reveals a red maneuver, abilities that change the maneuver can be used. So let's pause right there. After you reveal a red maneuver, so even no matter what, that maneuver is red. You have revealed a red maneuver. Then it continues. After resolving these abilities, the changing of maneuvers, if the ship would still execute a red maneuver, it executes a white 2 forward. So in here, we learn that executing a maneuver and revealing a maneuver are different, and the fact that abilities that change the maneuver happen after the reveal. So in the case of something like the Resistance Transport, I'm trying to remember her name, Will. It's like Kova Nell. Let me look it up.
The pilot of the transport?
Yeah, Kova Nell. So she has some shenanigans here. It says, while you defend or perform a primary attack, if your revealed maneuver is red, you could do things like use Leia on her. You reveal a red maneuver, but you perform a white maneuver because Leia changed it to white, what you performed, but not what you revealed. Shenanigans there, but we find the answer there in the stress section. So we can have a discussion about it on the Discord if you'd like. But I know if I'm judging your event, that is how I would call it. I think it's pretty clear there because they very specifically break down the reveal of maneuver, abilities that change the maneuver, and then execute the maneuver. All different steps. That makes sense, Will?
Yeah, I only have one question there. I see the reference to R2 Astromech.
Mm-hmm. Or R4.
Or excuse me, not R2, R4, first edition. Sound the air horn.
It's okay.
Actually, I have a question about that R4 Astromech that you bring up here. Are reverse maneuvers basic?
No. Not basic, because it shows specifically those hard turn. Like it has on it in parentheses the hard turn, the bank, and the forward. And I believe also in the rules reference, I could be wrong about this, they do address basic and not basic maneuvers. I could be wrong about that, but I'm because the arrows are on the card, I would say no.
Okay. The iconography, that makes a lot of sense. I was going to say, this dude has white reverses with the R4.
No.
Say, rolling out to the store and getting me a couple of these transports.
Well, I mean, you could have white reverses with Leia.
That's even crazier. Can you do that every round then?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm in. Whatever this ship is, I'm in.
All righty. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. We're going to be going through each of the factions. We should hopefully be up on Marcel next week. I will say that our scheduling is going to get a little bit weird here because I have to travel to the place where I'm doing the Gold Squadron Flight Club. There's going to be some weird timing stuff that I got to figure out. But we'll talk about next week. We should be on our normal time. It's the week after that we got to figure out. But you'll have more details in a couple days, and it'll all make sense very soon. Make sure you guys tune in. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube, notification bell. Make sure you hit the follow button on Twitch. Honestly, when it comes to streaming, it seems like with some of the changes that YouTube is making, Twitch is the much more reliable source of actually being notified when we're streaming. We do have the Gold Squadron Paintcast every Monday and Thursday. I know right now, if you are a big Paintcast fan, you definitely need to be on our Discord. That's where Luke puts any updates or things that are going on. And right now, as you guys know, or maybe you don't, Luke's wife just had a baby a week ago, and she was having some issues. Everything's fine at home. She needed some help, so he wasn't available to stream on Monday. A couple people were like, "Well, what happened to the Paintcast?" There was your answer right there on Discord. So he gives everybody a ping there when it's not happening. But we should be live tomorrow from the Gold Squadron Paintcast. Remember, Sunday is Echo Base, even when they forget to update the social media posting and it says Paintcast on it. I promise you it's them on Sunday. And if you want to help support us here at Gold Squadron Podcast, you can go to patreon.com/Gold Squadron. Again, those top tiers, your guys' stuff is already shipped. Everybody else, it's coming. It should be within a week. Also, in the next, I would say, patrons, make sure you look. I'm going to be posting something in the next day or two on there about getting your hands on... extra Vulture droids. And people have been asking about it. Dion, there's only one in my package. I want more. How do I get more? We'll be talking about that on the Patreon. I'll be sending you guys a message with it so you guys can figure out how to do that. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Will, any closing thoughts, shout outs, anything?
No.
All right.
I will say, well, we're skipping our. We'll do a abbreviated segment. Still going strong. No cigarettes.
I forgot to write it in. Sorry, I want to talk about
you're
that.
okay.
I forgot
You're
to write it
okay.
in. Positive
I've been
life
going
choices.
still going since May 18th. Still going strong.
Nice.
I think appreciate everybody's support. Got me over the hump.
Woo. Go Will.
Also, I realized that we need to get like a rhyme going for subscribing to Twitch, and I think I've chosen ostrich. Don't be an ostrich. Subscribe to Twitch. I guess my original rhyming thing did not work out. So
Because it's a bad word.
yeah, take a minute to think about that one. Don't be an ostrich. All right,
That's right.
Just subscribe to Twitch.
Don't be a witch. A witch. Subscribe to Twitch. All right, guys. For me, positive life choices. Honestly, this week has been really good. It's been really good. My wife, I'm totally inspired by my wife right now. She's actually training for a half marathon. And she ran the farthest she's ever run today in her training program. She ran 9 miles. Now, in the training program, she actually only had to do 8. But she got, like, I was in the basement packing things while she was running. And 2 funny things happened. So first, we discovered that, you remember, like, people were freaking out, like Y2K, when they're like, well, do we know that numbers, like the time things, can go past 1999? Like, what happens at 2000? Does everything just shut down and everything breaks? Turns out, at least on our treadmill, it does not know how to go past 99 minutes and 59 seconds. It just turned off. Just
Okay.
off. So she was running and she goes, oh, when she hit that point. So she just hit the button again and just continued running, but it was pretty funny there. But then another just absolutely inspires is she hit the 8-mile mark and was just like, I could just do another one. It's fine. And just does 9 instead of 8. So just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I've been running about 3 to 4 miles a day, eating a lot better. My dinner today consisted of a lot of different fruit. Actually, I was kind of sneaking during the podcast, was eating cherries, which I discovered I like. I didn't know that I liked cherries until my wife's like, eat these. And I was like, yes, babe. And I like cherries now. So that's been positive life choices with Dion and Will. If you want to be part of our positive life choices, just start making positive life choices. If you want to talk about it, hit us up on Discord, !Discord to join on. You can type that in Twitch chat. Even when we're not live, the links will pop up. Or if you don't know how to find it, you can check a bunch of our descriptions on YouTube. And if you're still lost, hit us up on Facebook. I'll just get you the link. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Gold Squadron out.